So, welcome back to Ren's Wasteland Camp Contest 2.0 here at Wasteland Games. So, what's the second contest going to be about? I'll show you right now. So, I have two accounts active right now on this server. It's a private server so that I can do this and make sure that it turns out okay. The idea is I want you to build something, not necessarily like this, but what I want you to do is I want you to incorporate at least one of your prefabs that everybody has in their inventory of junk that they have bought from the atomic shop, or one from the scoreboard, or done and gotten from some event, into at least one camp build. This one here is a store that I'm currently working on, and it is here just outside of the airport at Morgantown Airport. I have, I think, almost all of the prefabs except for maybe one or two, because there's some of them I just refused to buy because at the time they didn't come with anything that I wanted, and if you buy them individually, they're usually way overpriced. So I'm better off waiting for one of the bundles that comes out later on, because I'm an idiot and I'll collect everything in this stupid game, and just buy it whenever it becomes part of some bundle that I already own everything else in, and knocks the price down to like 200 atoms versus paying like 700 to 900 atoms for something that I don't actually really want that much. Now, as I said, this is a shop that I'm working on, and you can tell it's not completely done, but it gives you a rough idea of a shop. Cash registers are here. There's a vending machine that should be selling soda that probably doesn't, and a storage room back here that is where I put my fusion generator, core recycler, the popcorn machine, and a crappy refrigerator for the place because, well, it's a little Appalachian roadside thing. If anything, this store, they have a little garage, and if you're lucky, you can get a room whenever your car breaks down at the little hotel that's also part of this place. But, you know, that's what it was originally. The garage, of course, is what I'm using for my work rooms. So most of my work items are in here that I need for maintaining my character. I've got her in here as a follower because, a fake Katharine Hepburn is better than nothing. I've got the big generator in here, which I'm debating on whether or not to yank this whole building down and put in one of the newer generators because I don't have to run as many power lines for them. Even though the power lines kinda are already done and they work pretty well. I'm just not sure what I want to do with it yet. And then I've got another little building back here that I'm working on. Again, not a bad little setup. If I do yank the generator out of there, I will probably turn this into the central bath for the hotels rooms. So, it'll have a bathroom that's shared between the two buildings. But the idea is to use one of those things. The problem with this spot is because of its location, which isn't really that unique a location, to be honest, because of where it is. But because of its location, it has a high spawn rate, meaning people spawn here a lot. Because they like to run over here and they like to drop off stuff at you know, the train station. Because you got the vendor in there, you got the recycling thing out front. I mean, it's like the perfect place to build a camp. The problem with which is good. I mean, the train stations are probably the best things to build camps in, to be honest, if you can. This one here, you can build all the way out to right about where my character is standing on the concrete, for the most part. It gets kind of weird in this area and back over in this area because of the bike and some of the trash items. But, like, you should be able to build all the way through here. And I can show you a build that is here on one of my other characters. But, yeah, if you're looking to build something that is basically just a vendor, build near the train stations and don't build near the which one is it? Don't build near Berkeley Springs unless you're building up above it or down below it. And don't build near Watoga really either because again, you pretty much have to build below it. You can't build above it at all. Well, unless you're wanting to float a camp and really build above it. You know what I mean. But the train stations are all pretty good except for this one over here. This is the only one that's kind of a bust to build at because it doesn't get as much traffic. It gets traffic whenever the event at the Foundation's outpost goes off. But that's about it. But all the other train stations are usually a good location for building a vendor camp. Down in Charleston is actually a really good location to build at in general. But the camp here is one that I'm currently working on. And that's my alternative character right there that I'm running up towards the train station. I'm going to have her open up another one of her camps so I can show you guys another decent spot to build if you're looking to build a vendor camp. That's pretty much all she's built, believe it or not, because she's my heavyweight character. Go down here. And yeah, for most of my vendor camps, I typically use like the soda bottle display because I figure most of them sell some type of soda or food. Let this place come into view. This is my camp down here. It's one that I usually run about 75% of the time on this character, on my main character account whenever she's out. When I can. The problem with this area here is, unlike the other one we were just at, this area, people like to build here. Not just for vendors, but because they like to farm water or plants or crops, and they'll put whole farms in this whole area. But this is one of the better areas for a vendor camp because people, again, come to train stations on the regular. Especially in this area because it's one of the first train stations you get to as a low-level player coming out of Flatwoods. I mean, you either go to Charleston or you go up here to Sutton, and I'll show you something cool about Sutton. Now here at Sutton, this is the one of the weirdest areas to build at in the game, in my opinion. But you can literally build right here on these tracks where I'm standing at. You can build a thing that will take you directly from this train station directly into your camp if you want to. You can build pretty much right here. You get almost no spawns to attack you. What little you do come from either down there or down the track at you. There's a few that show up in those areas, but they're so rare. So, as you can tell, I like to build vendor camps in this one location. I build here a lot. Uh-oh. Alright, so this here is a shop that I built called Lucid. It was originally going to be called Lucid Dreams, but I kind of ran out of space for letters, and I found out that you actually do need turrets here, because as you just saw, you do get attacked pretty regularly. So I built out two other little buildings that look like they're reinforced to be here. One of them's a house here for the main character. And one of them's a house up here for your follower chick. A guest cabin, if you will. This place is built in a pretty standard shop formation. I mean, it's not exactly done is the problem. This is one that's still kind of a work in progress. It never really got finished out the way that it was meant to. And you can tell because, like, there's nothing here. The decor is just kind of eh. It just didn't look nor feel right to me whenever I was building it. It's one of those that I'll probably gut and chuck. The only thing I liked about it was the placement of this wall. But that's not hard to do. And I was seriously trying to figure out, you know, different build techniques and different things to do. And this wallpaper in here, using it on all four walls is just so bleh. And then same thing with this stuff down here. I mean, yeah, it's something that someone would do in reality. But, yeah, it's just horrible. So this place has gotten me thinking, what we need to do is we'll do it this way. So here's the contest. Use one prefab in your build. Build anywhere you like. Build a shop. Stock it full of goodies for sale. When you're done at the end of, let's say, what is today? Today's the 4th. So you have till April 30th to make as many caps as you can between now and April 30th. Keep track. Write it on a little piece of paper. When you submit your video for your camp, submit how many caps you made. Camp submissions will be accepted from the 28th through the 2nd. So that gives you literally a month and some if you need it. Make as many caps as you can. Trade as much as you want. Offload as much crap out of your inventories as possible. But do some really cool styling shops, not like this. Okay, this one it looks good from the outside, but it sucks when you get inside. And your goal is to find a place that you feel comfortable building your camp. Now, the thing that you've got to remember is, if you build in an area like this, you're going to need to defend it. It's got to have some type of defense, because there's things that spawn around it that are going to make it hell for yourself and other people. But the other thing you want to remember is, you kind of want to build your camps in locations where people spawn regularly. So think of it as high traffic areas in game. Things like Nuka World on Tour, around that's a good idea. The only problem is those are also the same spots that people that build trap camps like to spawn. Like, for instance, one of the most high traffic areas is right over here at White Spring Station. I'll head there. Now, White Spring Station is kind of a unique location because you can technically build in this area right here. You won't get attacked much, and you can build pretty much anywhere around here. You won't get attacked much. Now, the problem with that is that you have a large variety of people that are going to build here. A lot of trap camps, a lot of quote-unquote people that see themselves as vendors in game that are just, high trade, high value items. We've all seen them. There are people that have 5 or 20 copies of a single plan that they're selling for like 5 to 6,000 caps minimum a piece. And there are also people that you can talk to that'll usually have like something that they're not willing to sell because it doesn't quite fit what they want to sell and be known for selling, but it's something they may have in their inventory that somebody traded them or that they picked up because it was, like 1 pip off of what they wanted as far as an item goes. So they'll hold on to it for a while and see if anybody else comes up and asks them for something like it. Or maybe they've got an extra character they're going to shove it onto to use at a later date. I highly recommend talking to people in game if you can, because that's how you find some of the cooler stuff that you yourself may not be able to acquire, or may have missed out on, or just may have lousy RNG luck and can't roll it for your life to save yourself. So, yeah, that last part, that's legit. I spent like better part of half a year hunting quad Tesla rifles with certain rolls on them, only to start just taking anything that I found with quad on it just because, well, I needed to get the damn things because there were just too many floating around that I just did not want to deal with. So, anyway, so the exact contest for 2.0 is use a prefab in your build and build yourself a shop. Other than that, the limitations are gone. That's all you've got to do. You can use whatever you want for a icon on the map. Try and use high traffic areas for your shops because you'll get more sales that way. And whenever you submit your build, at the end, submit a total on the caps that you made during the competition. Again, the dates are the 28th through the 2nd of the following month, which are, man, I'm lousy with dates. So you can submit anytime between the 28th and the 2nd of May. Video for the final thing should be out by May 5th. May 4th at the earliest. So, if you guys are cool with that, that's where we'll stop for today, at least for the contest. And if this helped anybody figure out what they wanted to build or a location that they were thinking about, more power to you. Have fun, good luck, and all those that put out builds for the first contest, thank you for participating, and I'll have that video up as soon as I can.